in GT, but as you say, with that Ferrari, with the Porsche, the Flying Lizard car, it's not too far behind them. Here we go.
8 minutes and 19 seconds of this fabulous contest at Master Raceway Laguna Seca as we're racing into twilight. And a great restart by Richard Leitz in the 911, gets back in front of all the other GT cars as well in the unclassified Porsche Hybrid. Meantime, in the GT categories, there is Damien Faulkner. He is trying to, and there in front of him is Spencer Pumpelly, and only about 3 cars in front of him now at the head of the field. Just look how dark it is out there. And there is the 20 car for its proper service. Well, it's been sent, and that will mean winning points potentially for Stephen Kane, unless it has to come in for another pit stop in the next 7.5 minutes. Stefan Mucker has driven very well in this final stint, Jeremy, and this is going to be a triumphant return. Never mind about whether they get the points or not, they'll stand on the top step of the podium, and this will give great confidence to the team before Petit Le Mans in a couple of weeks' time. Yeah, very much so, and particularly for Adrian Fernandez here, and it was the Mexican Independence Day on Friday as well, so he and Ricardo Gonzalez and a few other Mexican drivers in the race, they were celebrating that fact. The 201st year of independence, I think, for Mexico it was, so that was Friday, and what a great result this would be for Adrian Fernandez on his return to the American Le Mans Series on a track that he loves here at Master Raceway Laguna Seca. 007 Aston Martin. And just to reiterate that Klaus Graf is just in the picture behind there in the Muscle Milk Aston Martin, has made the 70%, so will get points for his finishing position, currently 5th and I'm 4th. Yeah, he 4th place points. Yeah, he won't get any further up because the number 12 Autocon car, although it's behind the wall, has done its 70% and is too many laps ahead of it for them to be able to overhaul it in the time remaining, he said confidently. GTC battle is still something that I'm keeping my eye on. Jeremy's got the timing screen up here as Bleckemol and Pumpelly and Faulkner are still battling away. Now, every week the whole broadcast team get their heads together during the race and decide the battery tender hard charger awards, and this week it is Ferrari versus Porsche. The pass on the dirt, not once but twice. Oh, and a little love tap as well. So the battery tender hard charger award going to Risi Competizione. Hard but fair, like Leeds United in the 1970s. Soccer reference there. Here we go. Listen, this is an oral sensation for you. The 2 lower Aston Martins coming through together. Many laps apart, of course. 3rd pit stop in the space of a couple of laps. And there's a download cable in the car. I mean, is that a penalty that's being assessed with the official standing there? Haven't heard that from race control. Now, this is on board with Jay Cochran, but this is earlier on. Jay Cochran looking to take the points for overall victory by coming in 2nd to a car that's not registered for points. Lost 2 laps at the top of the corkscrew. Got the car beached. Now he's got one of those laps back as he's gone across the line. This was from the onboard, just got off on the dirt there. Well, Chris Dyson is the man at the helm of Dyson Racing, and it's his 16 car. There he is. Why does Chris not want to talk to us? As the championship is on the line, through comes the 16 car. Well, I understand why they're doing this, but I don't think it's very fair on Stephen Kane and the guys who've driven the 20 car. I really don't. And there goes Cochran through. Cochran goes through to take potentially the championship, so that and he's still sitting there. Now he's allowed to go because he's now lost that position, and that is, I think that's quite sad to see that.
Well, this is certainly certainly not the way that Dyson Racing would like to clinch this championship. And on the third pit stop for the 20 Mazda, they just sat it there, and I saw Chris Dyson try to make eye contact with Stephen Kane, who was behind the wheel, and he mouthed the words, "Thank you. They own one."
You know, it's a team sport, motor racing. It always has been, always will be. There's always team orders. If you've got a second car in there, particularly one that's not running for the championship overall, you know, this is a massive investment that Dyson Racing has made, that Mazda has made, that AAR, the engine builders in the UK have made. They want to clinch the championship. That's what it's all about at the end of the American Le Mans Series season. So, you know, it's in some ways, yeah, you know, it's certainly a shame to see it done this way. But hey, the bottom line is they came here into the season to win the championship. They want to make sure they do that. You can see it both ways, no question about it. But
that's the leader in GT, just overcooking it, coming down the hill, and the second place car is right in his wheel tracks, and the third place car as well. So 1, 2 and 3 in GT. Now this is how to win championships, battling with all of your competitors and not parking your teammate in pit lane. Fantastic stuff. That was the radio call to Stephen Kane, by the way, that was coming over, because none of the P3s here. And look, Bergmeister has a look down the inside, can't get it done. Oh, down the inside for the lead. That's the lead for Racing Competizione, and it looks as though the Porsche's going through as well. I wonder if Muller's got a problem there from dropping off the track. He's gone from first to third in 2 corners.
Yeah, he did. Again, you know, I'm going back to the temperatures again. It's cool out there. The Dunlop tyres always seem to be not quite so much grip in these cooler conditions as do the Michelins. I think that's what it's coming down to.
Well, I think he's picked up a load of dirt on his right-hand side tyres, and that's the tyres he's leaning on coming out of the Andretti hairpin, and he got a load of push. Yeah, coming out of there. Yeah. Had to get out of the throttle.
A minute and a half to go. We see a change for the lead in GT, and the BMW goes from first to third.
Now these two have got paint samples from either car on these two cars all the way through the season. There's not, I wouldn't say there was animosity or bad blood there, but there's fierce competition. The white flag will be coming up shortly, and we are inside the last minute of competition, and we still have a lead that is being... Oh, look at that, you can't do that, you can't do that. What is he thinking? Jamie Mello pulls over hard left as if he put the parking brake on and sticks the lizard into the wall. Yeah. That is the most blatant block I have seen in years.
And he almost took out Gunnar.
We're talking to Bo. Just stay behind him for now. Let you get past.
Yeah, and that's
smart. Yeah. Smart from Thomas Blam on the radio to the Flying Lizards.
Talking to Bo Barfield, the chief steward here. He knows what the rules are. Bo makes some great calls. He'll be considering everything, but no question that was a block in the last lap of a race. You know, is it all hands on deck, no holds barred? We shall see. But what a fabulous battle this has been, and that was Gunnar Jeanette went through there, and he's only not too far behind Elton Julian. That fabulous LMP2 battle that's continued all the way through as well.
And Dirk Muller's in third place saying, I still might be able to shout at this if these two are going to do that. Well, let's see what happens this time around, because clearly the Porsche punches out of the final corner slightly better than the Ferrari. A little bit of a traction issue maybe. Now, Jamie, if he'd just gone to the right, it is under review. That incident is under review. If Jamie had just pulled across and stayed there, he wouldn't have been too bad. But the fact that he then pulled further over, I think might just... Bo Barfield has explained blocking to me so many times, and it's the best explanation ever. Yes, you can defend, but when you are reacting to the man behind's move, that is the definition, according to Bo, of blocking. And it's great because it works for every bit of motor racing. Meantime, we've got 2 miles for those guys, but it's going to be a win on their return to the American Le Mans Series for Aston Martin Racing with the Lola Aston Martin. The Lowe-sponsored car comes through to take the 8th round of the American Le Mans Series here at Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca. What a great effort in a car that was in a museum just a few weeks ago. And the pass has been made! The pass has been made! The Lizard is through! Now, was that a given position by the 62, or was it earned? That might
It was earned whichever way it was, I can tell you, because
that might be the smartest thing that Beaky's done to get him to give that position back so they don't get a penalty and lose second place as well with the BMW right there close.
No, that's a very good point indeed, because... But what a wonderful race that Patrick Long and Jörg Bergmeister have driven here. They don't have the fastest car. They've put up with all sorts of argy-bargy out on the racetrack, and it looks now as if they're going to come away with the victory. But look at that battle for second place.
Could be fuel for the 62, might be damaged. Racing are out of fuel. They've done it again. Just at Petillamon a year ago, they were half a lap short, and they're about a quarter lap short here. Is there a stunner from the Ferrari? Yes, there is. That car is not running well, and I think that they might be short on motive power. The go juice was just not there.
No, well, we've been saying that for an hour and a half. We thought this caution was going to save, that last caution period was going to save them, because otherwise they definitely needed to make another pit stop, but apparently not quite.
It's Lizards that win it from BMW in second. Muller got through, and Jamie Mello relegated to third position here at Monterey.